Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be using TBR prompt, like playing cards, to pick my April TBR. I have my TBR card next to me. I'm just taking off my March TBR. I did not do very well reading the books that I set out to in March. March was a bit of a crazy month for me, and reading definitely took the backseat. So we're starting fresh in April. We are attempting to stick to a new monthly TBR, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I was really hoping you guys could see the TBR card more than this. This is kind of all the room that I have in the corner that I'm filming right now, so we're just gonna have to make it do. I was at my bookstore. They have like these really nice big long tables to work at, and I love to work there. And I was just perusing, just taking a little break, and I found this cards. This is Choose Your Next Read 30 decision cards to tackle your TBR list. So they have prompts on them, and I've been doing TBR jar prompted monthly TBRs, I guess, with just prompts that I made myself and then put them into a TBR jar and have been drawing from it ever since. So I'm really excited to switch it up. I also felt like a lot of my prompts were very repetitive, like they either was like a color or like that the title started with a certain letter, or just like first in a series, second in a series, part of a trilogy, like very series oriented, which isn't bad because in that way like you can personalize it for your TBR. And I do have a lot of series on my TBR, so in that way it made sense and it did work, but I'm excited to switch it up. So I'm gonna do 10 books. I always do 10 books. I normally am able to read most of them. I haven't completed a monthly TBR yet this year. January and February I did read I think 14 or 15 books in each month, but I didn't read the 10 books on my TBR. I think I read 9 out of the 10 on both months. So that is my goal this year, is to finish one of my monthly TBRs. All the same though, I think that they're worth doing, and I also just enjoy doing them, and like getting 9 out of 10 books still is a huge accomplishment, and like being able to focus my reading on them I think is still worth it. I'm curious, I actually don't know, I'm like, should I take a sneak peek and like share with you guys what are on these cards, or should we just draw them at random? I think it's just kind of more fun to draw them at random. I'll read the ones on the back of the box for an example. So the examples they give us are timeless classic, book everyone's been talking about, first book of a series, or a book your friends suggest. Okay, if we find a blank card, we'll just redraw. Again, I'm sorry you guys can't see the TBR card super well, but you'll see what I end up picking. So okay, I'm gonna shuffle these a little bit. Some shuffling card ASMR. Eesh. Okay, let's draw our first card. I think I'll just go from the top. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm kind of far from the camera, but it says a book with more than 500 pages, which is crazy as a first pick. The first one that I am drawn to is Heat of the Everflame. This is a book over 800 pages. We would be exceeding our prompt. And although this is like an 800-page book, I did read the first 2 as an audiobook, and I absolutely love them. And I do have the third one as a loan as an audiobook from my library right now, so I think that this one is gonna be our pick for our first prompt. Moving on to our second prompt. Let's do this one. Okay, we got an empty card. Let's redraw that. A historical novel. I don't have any historical novels, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to draw again. Third time's the charm. A one-sitting read. What a cool prompt. I love this. I like When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I've never read a Sarah Adams book, but I recently got this, and I think that this could be a one-sitting read. It's about 300 pages and it's a romance novel. I also really like the naturals for this prompt as well. It is also just, this one's under 300 pages. I heard this is really fast paced and like you can just fly through it. Okay, I think that those are definitely my 2 options. I think I'm gonna pick When in Rome. Let's draw our next card. Ooh, a banned book. I don't think I have any of those. I feel like banned books are like Handmaid's Tale, Hunger Games, 1989. those are like ones that come to mind, and I definitely don't have any of those on my TBR, so I think we're gonna skip this one as well. Ooh, we have a spicy novel. Okay, we don't really know what is going to be a spicy novel. So we have Love Redesigned. I definitely see this could be spicy for sure. I haven't finished it, but I've read the Dreamland Billion. Nope, this is the Dreamland Billionaire series. I've read 2 out of the 3 books in that series, and they've been spicy enough. So this is from the same author. This is the first book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. So I think that I'm gonna put this one for a spicy novel. I can't believe we've only done 3 books. I feel like I've been chatting for a while. Okay, moving on to our 4th pick. A fiction novel. Oh, I love this. Okay. I mean, technically fiction is anything, like romance, fantasy, but I think I'm gonna put this in for a literary fiction. I think I'm gonna put So Old, So Young for my literary fiction pick. A page to screen book. I don't know. Well, okay. Well, we have 6 of Crows, which I know they made a show of. I think they only got to the Shadow and Bone content. I don't know if they got to the 6 of Crows content, but I would consider this a screen to book adaptation because the show is literally called 6 of Crows. I don't think I have any other ones. All right, we are halfway there. Let's go for our 6th prompt. A book you already own. Okay, this feels like a free pick. Like I can put anything on my TBR. If it's a book I already own, that's like fun, but also really incredibly difficult. Okay, I'm torn between The Silmarillion because I own a lot of the Tolkien books. I really need to get into the series, so that would definitely be a book I already own. But I'm also debating picking up Every Spiral of Fate. I really, really love this series. Also, Tahira Mafi's new book is coming out in April, so if I read this and I read her new release, I will have read everything she's published. That's not true. But I will be caught up on the series that I am reading of hers. So I'm kind of torn between these 2. I think I'm gonna pick this one. I just have the best time reading these, and I think April's gonna be a bit of a rough month. I'm in my last month of my master's, so I think having a little escapism and a little comfort would be really, really nice. Moving on to our next prompt. Oh, we got a romance novel. I haven't been reading a ton of romance. I think I'm gonna pick Before I Let Go by Kenny Ryan. This was on my March TBR. I was sad I didn't get to this. It just seems like a romance book that is definitely appealing to me at the moment. I think we're gonna go ahead and put this one on our TBR. Our next pick. A fantasy novel. I'm just getting genres at this point. Again, this is so broad, so I have so many options for a fantasy novel, honestly. But I think the one that's calling to me right now is When the Moon Hatched. I've had this on my TBR for far too long. I'm quite intimidated by this book, and again, I don't really know why I'm putting so many intimidating books on my TBR this month. I think that this one would be really fun. I've only heard really good things about this book. I've only seen people be obsessed with it. I think I could afford to be obsessed with something right now. I think that sounds kind of nice. All right, we have 2 more to go. A thriller novel. That is not a genre I normally read, so I don't have too many. I only have 2 thrillers on my shelf, and the one we're gonna pick, the one we're skipping on, if anyone's curious, is Billy Summers. I don't know, I'm intimidated by that read for some reason, but we do have a Holly Jackson book, which is the reappearance of Rachel Price. I think this is her newest release. I read Five Survive last month, 2 months ago, in February, I think, and I actually really liked it. I read the audiobook. It was very all-consuming. It was really fun. I think I'd be down for another one of her books. Those are like the only thrillers that I read, because they're young adult, and I know that she's not going to go too far, and I'm a little scaredy cat, so I trust that. Whereas like Stephen King, people have said that Billy Summers isn't like a horror novel or a thriller, but I don't know, like maybe that's just based on like Stephen King's baseline and not my baseline, so that's why I'm scared of it. So I'm gonna wait until, I don't know, I have the guts to read it, I guess. Our very last pick of April is going to be A book your friend suggested. I feel like I've read all the books that my friends have suggested. I read one last month, which was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which was phenomenal and a great recommendation. But I don't think I have anything on my shelf that was recommended. So we get to draw again. Okay, now maybe our last pick is going to be a book published in your birth year. What? That's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna move on. It's a cool idea for a prompt, but I feel like difficult in execution. Like, okay. A Western novel. Okay, I don't have a Western novel because I don't read Western novels, but I do have a cowboy romance. And we're gonna pretend those are the same thing. That's definitely the closest thing on my shelf to a Western. Well, there's Western in here, so we're gonna call that as close as it gets, and that's gonna be Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I really want to get into this series. I was trying to save it a little bit like for closer to the summer, but April is an odd month in Toronto, so there's some days that really do feel like summer. If it gets plus 10 and it's sunny, I can be in shorts and a tank top on my balcony and it feels like summer. So if I get a couple of those days, maybe I'll pull this one out and embrace the summer, I don't know, manifest the summer to come and enjoy this book. So those are the 10 books that I'm going to be aiming to read in April. Follow along if you guys want to see me read these and thoughts in real time and that sort of thing. Let me know if you guys prefer the TBR jar prompts or if you guys liked the cards. I thought that was a really fun idea and I think I'm going to do them again. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books, your thoughts on them, what you guys are planning to read in April. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one very, very soon. Bye.